We do have a challenge that involves talking, asking what our spicy takes about fruit are. And we want to talk about our spicy fruit takes.
Spicy fruit takes.
Spicy fruit takes or spicy fruit takes?
Well, let's see. There's one that says, "Can you give us spicy takes about fruit?" One that says, "You asked for this. Please trash talk your least favorite fruit." And please, we want to actually hear everybody's hot takes on fruit. Clearly, kumquat is a good starting prompt. Please, spicy fruits.
Okay.
Is there like a go-to spicy fruit? Like
There's a street food from somewhere, and I don't remember where, but I think it's spicy. I think it's like a mango, and they roll it in this seasoning.
ooh,
But I
That
could
sounds
be
pretty
wrong.
good.
And
yeah.
it's only come to mind because I'm allergic to mango and also really want to try whatever that was. But not mango, obviously. Not be good.
I've tried mango, I think, once, but I don't know if it was like fresh or not. So my feelings on mango are not particularly hot.
I was never like way into mango, but I tried to use it in like a fruit salad one time. Did not know you were supposed to remove the skin.
Oh yeah.
Now
I guess you would.
Yeah, now I am very sensitized to it because mangoes and cashews and poison ivy are all in the same family.
No kidding.
And mangoes produce the same oil that poison ivy produces, and yeah, so I've sensitized myself highly to poison ivy. Don't eat the skin. That's all I can say.
Don't eat the skin. That's just a good lesson in probably all life, really. Don't eat the skin.
Yeah, except like fried chicken, maybe.
I'm pretty sure skin's bad for you. Fried chicken too, though.
I mean, fried chicken in general is bad for you, so you're kind of splitting hairs.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, and I guess like there are other plants where my mom was like, all the nutrients are in the skin. Like apples and stuff.
Oh, yeah. But they like really hardcore like made those apple peelers for people where you stick
the
out
apple core peeler
like,
slicer.
Yeah,
which kind of looked like it took more time to set up than to use.
Well, you get to vacuum seal it to your countertop.
Oh, that's
true. We had one. It was, I don't know, like there were a couple vectors for just random products in my life, and it was my dad and my grandpa.
But have you seen it in use? Because we had one in my house, and I've never seen it used. I think it was brand new in the box.
It was. Sorry, go ahead.
We had something that I think might be what you're talking about, but it was an applesauce maker, and it had a thing where you like jam the apple on, and it does the peel and the core, and then like the rest of it makes applesauce or something.
Was it automated or like hand powered?
Hand powered.
Yeah, that's what we had. Yeah, ours it vacuum. I think because like the thing is, we just used it because we were like, what a fun way to eat apples. But it's meant for like people that make sauces and pies and need thinly sliced apples really in a hot little hurry.
A lot of them.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's like a sort of little torture device for your apple because you wedge it onto this sort of the thing that you stick into the end of a corn cob. Basically, it's on a little spinny crank, and then there's this little spring-loaded just arm with a round blade on it that comes into contact with the apple. And then that runs into a little apple guillotine. And so, as you just kind of press, you spin it just like that. Yeah. And it drives the apple towards that corer thing. And then it dumps just a spiralized apple into a bowl for you.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I knew that thing peeled apples was because like on the box, it showed an apple on it. Because I think if you just showed me this device, I'd be like, I don't know what that's for, but I don't think it goes in the kitchen.
It looks very sinister.
We had one with a clamp on the bottom instead of the suction cup. Which means you always had to find some place to clamp it.
Does that mean you've used one?
Yeah.
How well did they work?
It rules. It works so well.
It rules cool.
Oh. Yeah.
But it does look like the thing that floats into Princess Leia's cell. You know? It's got.
I feel like we had a bunch of devices at home that either were like these were used once a long time ago before I was born, or these were really inspirational or aspirational purchases at one point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat so many apples. You don't even know.
I'm not. I guess if I had like a fruit that was like, what this is the fruit you really want, like
Yeah.
that someone's. I just want to eat kiwis.
Ooh.
I like
Really?
kiwi. I like taking the spoon and knocking it all out of the little bowl that they are and eating them.
I love the idea of the little bowl that they are. Like,
Well, a little bowl. You cut them in half. You got 2 little
They
bowls
come
of
in a little
kiwi.
toupee.
yeah.
Little kiwi bowls.
I tried it once with the skin on after Beach came home one day and was like, apparently you can like spoon out a kiwi, and I'm like, why wouldn't you spoon out a kiwi? He's like, you just eat it. I'm like, what? Why would you eat the skin? It's all fuzzy.
Because it's a terrible idea, but everyone always does it. So I guess it's how I have to eat these damn things.
And so I was like, all right. So I ate the skin a bit, and I was like, yeah, okay, it's fine. Like the skin of a kiwi is all right, but it's not the fun part of the kiwi I want to eat. So I'm not going to.
Is there anything? I'm thinking maybe snowballs, those sort of marshmallow covered with the coconut on it. But I'm hard pressed to think of a lot of things that you can eat that have kind of a hairy texture that are pleasant in the mouth. You know? That's a fine line.
I will not even do peaches because of the fuzz. I don't like it. I'll only do like nectarines.
Feels like chomping into a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like prickly in an uncomfortable way.
Says if I eat the skin, I am taking away my fun of tiny bowl.
You could eat the kiwi and then eat the bowl.
Yeah, but I don't like the bowl as much. So then I feel like I'm giving myself the short end after I've had the good stuff.
That's fair.
Yeah. Or keep the kiwi bowl and then pour Jello into it.
Ooh.
Kiwi Jello in the
Jello. Yeah, okay.
Take the kiwi out and then mush it up and then expose it to gelatin and put it back in. Yeah, like you would make twice baked potatoes, right?
And then put it in the Alpha Flight mailbox. Good luck, guys.
My parents used to make twice baked potatoes all the time. This is a weird tangent to whatever, but they were broccoli dill boats, is what they were called. Because you take the potato, you cut it in half, you scoop out both halves, and put all of it into a giant metal bowl that we had in the house. Because they would do about like 2 or 3 dozen potatoes, and big russets, right? And then you grate a whole bunch of broccoli, and you add a bunch of dill and sour cream, and you mix all that together with the stuff. And the broccoli is like it is grated. It is just turned to nothingness. And then you scoop that back in. You make a big mound, of course, because they have so much more fiber and everything in there. You put cheddar cheese on it. You put it back in the oven briefly, just enough to kind of completely cook it. But then you take it out again, and you freeze them as fast as you can, and they will last you for like a year. But they won't, because you'll eat them so fast.
Yeah.
They're delicious. Yeah, I remember making deviled eggs once, because I kept seeing all these cartoons that kept using deviled eggs as like a punchline of like, well, that's Satan over there, and he likes deviled eggs, or some like weird like thing. And I can't tell you what cartoons I've been watching. And to find out that it's like, you hard boil eggs and then you cut them in half and then you scoop out the thing and then you do with whatever and put it back. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
People keep, all right, they just, okay.
Put a little paprika on top for color.
Can't I just cut them in half and dust them with paprika?
It's too much work for me, which is why I only ever had deviled eggs at church potlucks.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to put in the effort.
But there's someone there with something to prove.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what they have to prove is how many deviled eggs Carrie can eat.
Because they're perfect. They're just a perfect mouth size.
Good.
Just pick it up and just chunk the whole thing in there.
Ostrich deviled egg.
An ostrich deviled egg.
Yeah.
So,
oh my gosh.
Oh man, that would be like an entire 3 meals.
I know that the dude said, "Oh yeah, they taste just like eggs. They're very light, right?" But I did watch a YouTube video. This is on Bon Appetit's channel, so I know people aren't really doing the Bon Appetit thing anymore. But they had Molly. They challenged her to cook with ostrich eggs, and you got to watch her break it. Which
Molly Baz, not me.
Get yourself a hammer, because that's how you get into a ostrich egg.
I thought she used a drill.
Did she use a drill?
I think not her. I thought that was the.
Oh, somebody did try a drill.
Somebody in chat did, yeah.
But like the description that everyone seemed to give was that this thing smells a little funny, like a little like you wouldn't how you would expect a normal egg to smell, and then also trying to cook with it. Point!
Yeah!
Woo!
Good stuff. So smash that start button so we can, I guess, get on to the next thing, or else we'll game over, I guess. Is that how this works?
Is that how this goes?
Yeah, I
Las
think we have
Vegas
to press
to
start.
Tucson?
Just smash the start button so we can
Smashing it.
Yeah, so we can move on.
Yeah, I think
Right.
if you don't time in fast enough,
It just assumes you've retired.
Yeah. You
Is
must
there
have
a
figured
start the car button? No.
You just press the accelerator and just hold the accelerator down, and yeah, if you can turn and you can see if you can do that, then you're already moving, so you're great.
All right, great.
I know it's real hard to tell.
All right.
That
Baby's
can't be the first
point.
point of the run. That's our first point of the run, but that's the only that would have been the first point of the run.
No, it has to be because we're the only shift that's gone twice now, right? Like it takes you 3
Yeah,
hours
actually.
to do the point.
Yeah, but so would have Night Watch.
Yeah,
Night
but
Watch crashed
clearly-
a bunch. A bunch
Clearly, yeah, a bunch
Right?
of crashes.
Great.
in the
Wait,
first.
so with the first of the whole run for everybody?
Oh, good.
Hey.
Yeah.
Is this why they keep shooting lasers at us? And
Must be.
They're jealous of our point prowess.
We're aggressively
Yeah, that's what
confident.
Max just said.
So
I don't
God,
think
what
I've
was-
ever been described as aggressively competent before.
I'm not gonna get used to it.
Nope.
But apparently, yeah, the egg is like, yes, you can use that egg to cook all sorts of things with, but it is, and you can eat it, but it isn't exactly like a chicken egg, but it is like a chicken egg. And I'm like, I don't think that they have people being like, hey, you know what, I'll buy 2 ostrich eggs and I'll crack them open and I'll scramble them and I'll make like scrambled eggs for the entire,
Yeah.
I'll put that in the chafing dish and whatever, and people would be like, yeah, this tastes normal. I think it's detectable. But
Huh.
I don't want to talk about eggs anymore, though. I want to talk about peaches because I don't.
You want to talk about fruit? Yeah, we were doing a fruit combo.
Yeah,
Eggs
We're
are
throwing
not
down fruit takes.
How did we
Uh,
get here?
because
We were talking about apples for a
Oh,
little
bye.
bit.
but like
I
kiwis,
missed
I
bus.
get.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's like kiwis are like eat the skin because it's like okay that you know what it is,
It's
but
really
it's
cool.
it's-
flavor and like I don't know. There's something about the tiny seeds.
but it's obvious. Like when you go bite into the fur of
I
a
don't like that
kiwi
at all.
fruit, it's obvious what it is. Right? You're like, I know what my tongue knows what this thing is, and it's fine. When you bite into a peach, does it not like? Doesn't your tongue get upset because it's like I don't
Yes.
like how this feels because this doesn't feel like
don't-
anything.
I don't.
You
I don't-
intuited exactly what Carrie was talking about.
Yeah,
Horrible.
I don't really like the fuzz feeling of a peach in my mouth either.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I used to scrub them to try and get the fuzz off, and
Did it
then
ever
eat
work?
them wet because then it's not as prickly. But
Yeah.
Right.
And if
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
ripe, if it's in a ripe enough state, you should be able to just take that off with your fingers.
now that
they-
I've never tried.
My grandparents didn't like me doing that.
Wait, did you get yelled at for like trying to take off parts of food you didn't like?
Not yelled at, just told, you can eat that. And I'm like, I know.
Oh,
I guess I have to now.
You know, you can eat that. Is the you should be eating that
Yeah.
sentence?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now I just buy canned peaches because I'm like, no one can yell at me for not doing it the right way because they're already done the right way.
Nectarines is
They were
my
put there by a
solution.
man. In fact, downtown.
Yours what? Nectarines?
Nectarines.
Yeah.
They
Nectarines
taste
are good.
like peaches, but they don't have the fuzz.
Yeah. They grow a ton of peaches and nectarines in the BC interior. So we stopped briefly on a trip and we picked up like a half box of peaches, didn't we?
A long time ago
Yeah.
when we didn't live here. Yes.
Yeah, that was too many peaches we bought.
Yes.
So many peaches.
Yes, that was.
You know, they grow a lot of peaches down in Georgia where I used to live too.
Ah.
Oh, bless.
Yeah.
It's so it's weird that they never talk about that.
Yeah, it's funny. You never hear about Georgia peaches. Just those
Yeah,
BC
it's
peaches.
so modest.
Just, you know?
I mean, there's the film company that
Yeah.
keeps showing up at the end. I just assumed that was because
That-
the
That's not the film company. It's literally just the state of Georgia is like if you film anything in Georgia and
Oh,
you're
is this-
using
yeah.
our funding from it, you have to
I
use
just
this
assumed
image.
it was a film company.
Yeah.
We
No.
gave this company a tax break, is what that's saying.
Yeah,
All right.
Georgia's
Yeah.
kind of
Right.
like Vancouver in that they're like, come film here, please.
Mhm.
We are a
We want
city.
industry.
We have city. We have outdoors. Do you
And-
have those in your productions?
What was it? Used to be Turner. I don't remember who it
TBS?
is. There's a big like media conglomerate in Like Cartoon Network is in Atlanta, and
Adult Swim for sure.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff.
William
is there.
Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're because that whole like Turner Broadcasting System thing that he had going on, that Ted Turner had going on, was like they had tendrils moving out to like all sorts of other little things as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So are we saying that peaches are just bad?
No, peaches are awesome. The problem is the
Just
work
the
you have to
skin.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
The skin of the peach is bad, but the insides are all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask chat to please stop showing kiwis being treated like kiwi the fruit. It's
Yeah, no
actually
kiwi
upsetting
violence,
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very funny.
I get the meme
Concept,
or the pun and I but visually I can't.
Come on.
Please.
Come on.
Thank you.
Get over.
Yeah.
Okay, well then what is the most overrated fruit you think?
Gooseberry.
Oh, gooseberries are so gross and put them on everything out here.
I don't think I've ever had a gooseberry.
They're both
Sounds very Canadian.
about as big as a grape, and they're bright yellow, and they look great because they usually they come with the 2 or 3 leaves that are attached.
Are they the ones that look like they're little lanterns?
Yeah, they're like little orange.
I grew up calling those witches' lanterns. And they grew
cute.
it in like the field where we live, or near where we lived. And they look so cute. I think they're related to tomatoes.
I can see that.
That makes a lot of sense because I would have one and I'd be like, wow, I expected this to taste like these gooseberries. It's like I expect this to be sweet like a berry, not like a strawberry, which is apparently not a berry.
I don't know. They show up on all the plates of like every restaurant I've been out to here.
Yeah.
And every time, the first couple of times, I was like, oh, that looks neat, and I ate it, and I was like, wow, why would you tear? This fruit clearly does not want to be eaten by anything.
It's nothing but water, and there's nothing else going on the inside. Yeah.
But they're so cute. They're
very cute. I will agree with that.
Just as garnish, but not for eating, you're saying?
Well, which is weird too then, right? It's like, because when you put garnish on a plate, that I'm like, gooseberries seem like they're expensive as a garnish, so it's meant to elevate the look of the entire meal. But I'm like, but now I have to throw away this piece of this thing. I feel bad about that. So
it's kind of tomato flavored, you're saying?
They're related to tomatoes, if I remember correctly. But
because they sound like the perfect thing for like a skewery and a Bloody Mary, but it's hard to think of other applications, you know?
I mean, maybe on actual barbecue skewers, they might be interesting too.
I'm honestly not really
roast them.
Really into tomatoes. Like I like tomatoes as a flavor, but the texture of eating one bothers me. So I need them like squashed and turned into paste or a different format than what they come in.
It's doing it again. Did you hear it?
Yeah, it got loud real fast, actually. That might have been on
just
purpose.
This Doppler thing, just to alert us to the presence of fruit music.
Yeah. But yeah, I like, God. I mean, even things like I love strawberries, but I realize that strawberries are of a spectrum of, you don't know what you're going to get. The bigger the strawberry, the worse they're going to taste. I would know that's always true.
Yeah.
But man, it's like, it's so disappointing to be like, oh, look, strawberries. And you're like, oh, that was not really anything. Oh, there's a good one. Oh, but it's like eating cherry tomatoes.
There was one night, Beach was doing like a podcast thing with Ian or Corey over like a Skype call, like a really old thing that probably doesn't even exist anymore. And he was eating this box of like little tiny tomatoes while he was doing it, and just pacing around the house because he had freedom, so it's like everywhere. And he was eating them, and every now and then he'd be like, "Oh, that one tasted like meat," and he'd just start going off about these meat tomatoes, and then, "No, okay, this one's good. No, this one's meat." And I don't know what Corey's topic was trying to be, but now it was like this weird.
Now we were on meat tomato
thing, and it was it's really funny to watch Beach in that state when I can't see the rest of the conversation, because you just see this person moving around the house at like the speed of like, meat tomato, and you're like, I don't know what's going on. I know you're on a podcast, so this isn't that weird, but boy, you got speed going. With your angry meat tomatoes.
And it's like, it was weird because it was like they tasted. It wasn't just that they were umami as hell, but I'm like, no, they tasted like meat. And then some you tasted like, oh, perfect, that acidy kind of sour like tomato thing that. and then a little bit sweet, and you're like the good tomato taste. And then sometimes you have another one, it's like, oh, that was meat.
It seemed honestly quite awful because it was like you didn't know if you were gonna get like one you really liked.
No.
And then if you did, it was gonna get followed up by one that you really did not like, but you were gonna keep going on this whole thing.
You are braver than me. The first meat tomato would have been the end of the tomatoes. They would have gone down. I would have set them down and backed
take them to
away.
a vaudeville show and throw them at somebody.
Heather will throw away yogurt that has a little bit of something on it, whereas I will just take that bit off and throw it away.
That little bit of something is called mold, and as soon as I see mold on a thing, it is dead to me.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I can clean that out of the sour cream container. We can eat the rest of the sour cream if you want. I don't eat sour cream, so you can eat it.
Nope, nope, gone, dead.
Trying to be nice.
With hard cheese, that's okay, right?
Yeah,
I'll do it with hard cheese.
cheese.
I'll do. I will cut off like mold off of a cheese and do that. But like, not in a containered food thing like that where
not
I'm like,
liquid.
There's a hidden piece of mold in the middle of this somewhere that I can't see, and you're just gonna stir it all together and mysteries is what. I don't eat mysteries. I eat food.
I just had like after we wrapped up last night. This morning, whenever we last ended our shift, I went and tried to eat tomatoes and mozzarella because I had these little mozzarella balls and I'd only had one serving of them. And I was putting them together and then found two of them were stuck together with mold between them. And that bowl of stuff is not, I didn't eat it, but also I'm worried because, not worried, but upset because finding it after having already had some a couple days ago doesn't make me feel good about what I ate a couple days ago. Just nah.
I have in fact since learned that on soft dairy product that you don't screw around with mold, and also especially bread, because it's like if you see mold on bread, you can't just throw away that slice. You can't just throw away the slices next to it. It's like it has probably moved its way onto so much of your bread at this point, and it's making things that aren't good for you. Even if you don't get sick from them, it's like in the long run, they're just going to be bad for you. You're going to have a bad time overall in your life. So don't eat them in the first place. I'm like, okay, I won't be like food poisoned from it, but it'll be like, yeah, but you're going to have a terrible time for the next month if you have that. So I'm like, I'm going to stop doing that now. Yeah.
I have certain aversions to like small bones and things in food, and the moment I find one in food I'm eating, it's like, well, this meal is contaminated and goodbye. Like I can't, and I know that's like there's more that's probably safe, and maybe I can even see all the safe things, but it's like, nope, done, yours now, because he's less scared of food than I am. It seems
apparently,
there are several things in meat products that can have textures that I just don't do. So it's similar. Like if I find something texturally unpleasant in meat, I will just, nope, done.
Yep.
I rarely eat meat now, just because
I definitely become vegan and vegetarian sometimes at certain restaurants because I'm just like, nope, I don't trust, I don't know, and I'm not ordering food that I will then have to somehow
guess at,
explain later, or guess at, or do. I'm just gonna eat some vegetables.
Like the vegan shoyu we had tonight.
Yeah, that showed up with pork. So that was weird.
On our reorder,
the pork was vegan. That pig, when it was alive, only ate vegetables.
Yeah. That was I mean, because not being vegan, it's kind of like, it's okay that it was in there. You can take it out.
Yeah, no, I took it out and I gave it to you, and I just ate the rest of it. I am a little disappointed because it was supposed to have tofu in it, and I do actually like a really good piece of tofu, and so that's a little disappointing for myself. But. Yeah.
But it was the remake order, and I think they were rushing through it to try to get it out the door since it had gone wrong, and I think someone who just accidentally, it's shoyu ramen, just do this, and it's all done. And
when I looked at it, I was like, I see how this mistake was made.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
I only gave them 4 out of 5 stars because the food was delicious, but it's like your vegan shoyu. I pointed out, I'm like, the vegan shoyu ramen had a piece of pork in it, which was weird. So maybe double check it before you eat it. Like, which I'm like, at this point, that's probably a death sentence for that restaurant. I've probably just ruined their
I doubt it.
In Victoria, I've gotten rid of half their clientele.
I doubt it. I think it's like one of their only vegan dishes, so I think they're probably fine.
Yeah, probably.